the things that I want to talk to you about today is ability, okay? Where are you in terms of ability? And where are you in terms of effort, okay? So I think a lot of individuals that I speak to, they have a lot of effort. So if you work hard, you'll say that your effort is very high. So let's say a 1 to 5, 1 to 10, let's say you're a 10 over here, okay? But even if you work really hard, like I said, if I don't have plus, what? The ability to become an NBA player, if I don't have that ability, if this is also not up, then this doesn't equal success, right? Would you agree with that? And a lot of individuals then want to try to create what we call active income to passive income. But let's talk about these things first. Everything breaks down together. These all go together in hand, okay? So when we talk about active income, we're talking about 100% of our labor, our ability. For example, if you want to be a doctor, then it is your responsibility to graduate from a 4-year university, go to med school, do all the things that you need in order to become a doctor. Would you agree? No one else can take the test for you. You have to have the ability needed to pass those exams. Even if you work really hard, put in a lot of effort, if you don't have the ability to pass those exams, will you become a doctor? No, but that applies for everything. So if you need certain skills to become successful and make a lot of money, then individuals who don't have a lot of money usually do not have that because they lack the ability to create the wealth. They only may have certain aspects ready, but not the rest. So as you listen to this lecture, you need to brainstorm in your mind, what's he saying? Does this apply to ATOMY? Does this apply to me? And as you listen to the lecture, you'll begin to puzzle pieces together to show you that you can be successful. But let's start here. So everybody who knows this, they know that to create active income, there are different things that you can do. The first thing I want to talk about is a job, okay? Everybody raise your hand if you've had a job before. Raise your hand, up high, up high, up high. Okay. When you have a job, there are things or requirements that you must do, right? If you do not do those things, what happens to you? You get the boot. What's that? You get fired, right? So today, it's raining. It was raining when I came in today. Let's say that you wake up in the morning and it's time for you to go to work, but it's raining, so you decide not to go to work today. What will happen tomorrow? What will happen tomorrow? Oh, raise your hand again if you've had a job before. It seems like you have not had a job before. If you call your boss and say, sir, can't go to work today, it's raining, he'll probably respond, you don't need to go to work tomorrow either. Right? You will lose your job. So there are things that are required of you even in a job, right? So you need the ability, what? You need to be able to manage your time and do your diligence in terms of the things that you need to accomplish in that position. And as you do those things, we are promised a promotion, right? So people work hard to create a larger income. So if you want a good job, it is necessary for you to go to a nice 4-year university, right? And after going to a nice 4-year university, it is probably behoove of you to what? To go to a master, get a master's, right? And some people even go on to get a PhD. And how many years of your life are you investing in order to get a nice job? Think about it. So let's minus all the school years that you went all the way to high school, okay? So after high school, you go 4 years, and then master's 2 years, and then sometimes it takes time to apply and manage more skills needed, whether it's language skills, whether it's personal skills in terms of people management, whether it's software skills in terms of Excel, PowerPoint, or whatever it may be. So add another year to that, okay? So that's going to be a minimum of 7 to 8 years needed to get a good job. And what is a good job? That gives you a lot of money, right? So 8 years of your life you've invested to get a good job. So what is a good job? From your point of view, is $5,000 a good job? $5,000 a month in Australia, is that all right? No? Yes? Maybe so? No? I don't know, you tell me. All right, so $5,000 to $10,000. Yes? All right. So I think a lot of individuals are actually from the 3,000 to 5,000 range, and some will be 5,000 to 10,000. But the question is not how much do you make? The question is how much can you save? Because a lot of people will make $5,000 a month. It seems like a lot, right? But guess what? You're not saving anything because the cost of living is high, right? You have to house yourself. You have to get a transportation. You have to feed yourself, all these things. So a lot of individuals will work this job for about 15 years. And at about 15 years, your age will be about 40, right? Graduate from high school, go to university, get your job, and then 15 years later, you're about 40. So what age is 40 for guys? This is called midlife crisis, right? This is what happens. So at the age of 40, a lot of individuals realize that, I'm not really left with anything. I want to do something greater. I want to do more. And individuals who want to do more usually have this figure in mind, right? Because you won't think about those things if you've already retired, because you can go do charity work, right? You can go do other things. But let's say that this individual now wants to do something more. What can they do then? From A, they have to do B, and B is sales. So what's sales? Sales equals low risk, okay? This means that you can do your job, you can do your 9 to 5, whatever it may be, and you can use the excess time that you have, the extra time you have, the weekends or the nights, whatever it may be, to try to create extra income, okay? Extra income. Does that sound good? Okay, lots of people want to create extra income, but then we have to think about two aspects of extra income, okay? Do you want to try to create something that is lasting, or do you want to create something that is just for that time? Raise your hand if you want to create something that's lasting. Exactly, right? You want to try to do something that's going to create residual income or passive income. So it has to be residual, meaning that they have to continue to want it, continue to buy it, continue to need it. And when that occurs, it becomes passive, okay? But residual income for you will also be active income if you have to continue to make them buy things. So for example, when I did this, my first job that I ever had sales implemented into it. So at the age of 16, I started to sell credit cards. I started to sell credit cards to individuals, and every time I sold a credit card, I got a commission. And I started to realize at a very early age that my income was capped. So in a salary-driven workspace, you start to work every day and you hope for a promotion, right? So if you have a good salary base, then each year maybe your employer will give you a 10% increase. Do they do that? Is it a 10% every year? Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I don't know. I haven't had a job before, so I don't know. No, but usually they don't increase your income that much, right? So your hope is that if you do sales, that your job or your sales job will help you boost your income, right? But then there is a income ceiling in sales as well, right? Why? Because in a job, you have the sales cap of whatever your boss wants to pay you, but in a sales job, okay, what you have is hours, okay? You are limited to maybe 8 hours a day. You can work 10. But remember, in sales, you have to meet people. So you have to meet them when they're awake, right? Even though you want to work at midnight, they'll be sleeping, okay? So you only have 8 hours. So with 8 hours, how many people can you actually meet? Maybe what? It takes about an hour to get there. It takes about 30 minutes to 40 minutes to explain it to them, and so on. So altogether, it usually takes 2 hours. So 2 hours, divide that by 8. How many people can you meet? 4. There you go. We're all good at math. Very good. So 4. Now, you meet 4 people. That means nothing, right? Just meeting 4 people means nothing. What do you then have to do to those 4 people? Sell them your product. Sell them your service. If you have a 100% success rate, then you have 4 people. So that's your income ceiling, right? But does everyone you meet buy your product? No, they do not. So even if you were to have a 50% success rate, that'd be amazing, but you don't. So I quit very quickly when I was 16. I started to sell credit cards. I was like, this is a waste of my time. I quit. And I started to understand that that's not what I wanted to do. So if it's not A and if it's not B, then what is C? C is what we call business, okay? So a business is something that is much, much, much more high risk. So a low risk business can be something that nowadays we will say is free, right? Free to $10,000, low risk. There are $10,000 to $50,000 ones, and the most brick and mortar ones are about $200K plus. Okay? So brick and mortar shops are ones that many individuals do not do. They're franchises that they are scared of doing. Because in order to get to the place of where you can invest, you have to have money saved. But if you're only making $5,000 a month and only saving $1,000 a month, how many years do you have to save to make $200K? In 1 year, you'll be able to save $12,000. Times that by 10, it's 120. So in 20 years' time, you'll be able to start one business. So if you started your business, if you started saving when you're 25, 20 years later, how old are you? 45. 45, you have the first opportunity to start your own business, right? But if you fail, what happens? No more time. There's no more time for you. So it's a one-shot thing. And that's why people don't start, and they don't do this, and they go up here somewhere. And up here somewhere is always riskier. You'll be thinking you're saving money doing those things, but you spend $5,000, lose it, $5,000, lose it, $5,000, lose it. It doesn't seem like you're losing a lot of money, but in the end, it all adds up. In 20 years' time, if you've invested $5,000 multiple times, it all adds up. So what are the different types of businesses that we can do right now then? Right now, what are the different types that we can do? And then I want you as the audience to agree with me or to tell me if it's something that you think you can do, okay? So I can see all you. I want you to raise your hand, okay? So free businesses. What are free businesses other than ATOMY? Okay, other than ATOMY. So we'll put MLMs up here, okay? MLMs are free, right? What are other free businesses that you can do? YouTube. Okay, a lot of people are doing YouTube, right? Raise your hand if you know what YouTube is. Everybody, I hope, right? If you don't know what YouTube is, there is a problem. So everybody knows what YouTube is, right? So YouTube allows you to make an ID, and everybody is allowed the freedom to become a creator. And if you become a creator and you have subscribers and your content is good, then you make money, right? So everybody in this room can become millionaires through YouTube. Agree or disagree? See, I disagree. Now, you may agree, but I disagree. So let me tell you why. You have to know the differences between business. First thing that you need in business is money, okay? There are three things that you need. 1, 2, 3. First thing you need is money. If you do not have money, you cannot start a business, okay? There are few businesses like YouTube that you can start for free because everybody has a smartphone. And on the smartphone, there is a mic and a camera. And if you can make content with a mic and a camera, you have the freedom to, what? Upload your video for others to watch. Now, the issue becomes 2, content, okay? C. If you do not have good content, if you do not have good service, if you do not have good product, your business will fail. So you're creating a failing business. Your business will fail when your capital fails. Okay? So let's say that you started a business that's not very competitive and you have $200,000 saved. Let's say you started and you spent $100,000 on starting your business, and every single month it costs $10,000 to run your rent and expenses and all those things, right? So how much time do you have before you have to close your door? You only have less than a year, right? Less than a year before you close your door. So you can only remain open as long as your capital allows you to. So you have a failing business. If you have $1 million, maybe you'll be lucky in 10 years. But for 10 years, you're just going to be losing money. Understand? Next thing that you have to think about is what? you have to think about the management aspect of it. And this has lots of things inside of it. If you are not able to manage your individuals, whether it's logistics or human resources, whatever it may be, you will never be able to what? You will never be able to scale your business, so therefore your business will fail. Now, the average individual will not be able to do all these things. That's the issue. So let's start with a very basic one. Let's say that you want to open up a coffee shop. Coffee shops are the most basic ones that you can do, right? Because all you have to do is have money to buy the equipment needed and do the interior design, right? Everybody can do that. Doesn't take any special skills. Next, all you have to do is buy coffee beans. It's very easy. It's different from making hamburgers, right? Making hamburgers are much more difficult than making coffee. Would you agree? Okay, so if you can source a good product, then you'll be able to somewhat leverage your business. But the issue is what? Everybody knows and understands that there are dominant companies in each field. Okay? There are dominant companies. For example, if you think about a hamburger, what business comes to mind? McDonald's, right? Did I teach you about McDonald's? No. Did you study McDonald's 101? No, but why do you have McDonald's come to your mind? Because they have marketed to you for many years. Therefore, what they have done is dominated the market. If I say coffee, what comes to mind? Starbucks. Did I market that to you? Did you study Starbucks? No. But those companies are what dominate the market. So therefore, if I, JYP, Ju Young Park, have a coffee shop, and next door to my coffee shop is a Starbucks, which one are you going to go to? Only you would come, that's why I would go bankrupt. Everybody else would go to Starbucks, right? I will go bankrupt because the market already has decided who the winner is. I have to fight for my market share. So it's an uphill battle for me, right? So I have to try to provide better quality than Starbucks. I have to try to provide better price than Starbucks. All these things are an uphill battle for me. So therefore, it's going to cost a lot of money, because that's marketing, to try to win that war. But it will not happen. That's why they're still on top. That's why they're remaining the top. That's why other companies have a difficult time trying to drag them down. You cannot do it. So even if you have the necessary capital and you have the money to buy your coffee, then do you have the skills needed to manage and structure and what? Build your business and scale up? And the answer is no. People do not. Raise your hand if you can do all these things. I bet you only a few hands will go up in this room. Everybody else will put their hands up by giving up, right? That's, oh, not me. It won't be a hands up because I can do it.